So your mom has left. She married Masika and left.
Right.
You're left there, and they said it would be 3 months with Paraska. Now Maria is also now out of the children's home or out of the orphanage.
Oh yes, yes.
And she's living
and
with you guys
she's older now, and she was able to get a job outside the little village that we lived in, and she worked with her cousin. And I don't know the name of the place, but she didn't live with us. She, wherever they went, she lived there and worked there. And
Do you know what kind of work she was doing? Just
some kind
labor?
of factory work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, how long? You said it ended up being 5 years instead of 3 months. Why do you think they didn't let you out?
The reason they gave, because they were always preparing the children for war. Even in school, they train you to war against USA. USA was our enemy. And they would have war games. Now, Maria was in a higher class. She was only allowed to go up to 8th grade. And because my mom was a Christian and the lady was a Christian, they had a restriction that we were not allowed to go any higher than 8th grade. And so, going back to the government would ask you if you're a Christian or non-Christian. And once you said you were a Christian, they put speculation on you. They wouldn't let you go any higher in education. So Maria finished 8th grade. It's like finishing high school in Europe. That's what it was. And so when she finished high school, she got a job working outside the where I live with Paraska. And I don't know how many years it was before we were permitted to come. I don't know. But when the notice came that we were free to go, they were shocked that happened. But let me tell you what happened that even come about. President of Russia, Stalin, Joseph Stalin, dies all of a sudden. He had some kind of hemorrhage, so he passed away right away. And then, like 2 weeks later, President of Czechoslovakia dies. So this took really a shocking news for the everybody was just totally shocked what was happening and what's going to happen next. Okay, and so during that time, Stalin dies in 1953. Okay. And so that's Gottwald of Czechoslovakia. And another guy comes in, and his name is Malenko. He was a prime minister, but he only stayed in office for 10 days. We got the news here in Wheeling that Malenko died. Which I was surprised that
he was still living,
And he only stayed there 10 days, and I don't know why he was dismissed or what happened there. But I don't know whether he had any part in us coming or not to allow us to happen, for it to happen. But in that year, we came here in 54, and all these presidents died in 53, okay? And he was there just not long. And whether he changed the rules or not, I don't know. But they permitted us to come.
So, okay, so let me...
Oh, let's go back. Because why they didn't allow? Because they wanted more people in, not people to leave the country.
Right.
They needed people
Workers.
to fight the battle if the war would break out.
So they let your mom go because she was married.
Yes.
But they could keep you with the idea you're young enough and we can just train you to...
And so they trained us, even in elementary school where I was, they always wanted us to aim at the certain things so that you are being trained for war. And they always let us know that USA was our enemy.
Did you believe that? Did everyone believe that USA was bad? Because your mom just left to go to USA.
Yeah. No, we didn't believe that, but we knew that communism was that
they wanted
way.
you,
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if I heard this from your sister Maria, but there was a story that it was Mother's Day, and Paraska, am I saying the name right?
Yes, Paraska.
She wrote a letter to.
I think it was her husband. Now she was married.
Okay. So she got married while your mom left. Yeah. She got married. And what was his name? Is this Giva?
Yeah.
Okay.
Joseph Giva.
And he worked for the government.
Yes, he did. Mm-hmm.
And so someone wrote a letter.
I think it was him.
Okay. Saying it's Mother's Day here, and everybody's getting together with mothers, but I got 2 girls here that haven't seen their mother in 5 years. And he sent that letter to who? Do you know?
Maybe the president.
I heard he sent the letter to the president's wife.
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
And because she was a mother too, and so she acted on your guys' behalf, knowing that she's a mother and mothers and daughters should be together, and started this whole chain reaction of you guys all of a sudden had permission to leave. Do you remember leaving? How that happened? Do you remember getting the news? How old are you now?
How old am I now?
No, how old are you in the story at this point when you get ready to leave?
I think I was 7.
Okay, so you're still young.
I was 7 when Mama left. Okay. So it was during that time, and
so 5 years later, you were
12. Yeah.
So, and how old would Maria be now? Is she 18?
She was 18 when we got here.
Okay.
To USA.
So how does this trip? You're 12. How did you find out that you're going? How does this happen?
All of a sudden we get a letter from the government saying we're free to go, and they only gave us a day
to get ready.
And so we didn't have anything to take with us anyways.
Right.
You know. So Joseph Giba took us to, I think he drove us, no, we went on a bus to Prague. I think it was Prague. It was the capital of Czechoslovakia. And then from there we flew to Germany. And let me tell you about leaving because we didn't even have time to say goodbye to everybody. As the ones that live close to us, we did, but it was the saddest thing in my life, because it was like a death in my life that I would never ever go back. This is how I was.
And you understood that then, that you're never coming back.
No, right. And I made a point of not ever going to visit there again.
Yeah.
Now my sister has gone back, and
your mother went back,
and Mama went back, but I never wanted to go back. Never. I thought they're not going to do this to me again.
Right, keep you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
you guys got permission. You got the news that you're going. How do you go? Do they take you to an airport? How do you?
Okay, this it was a letter that was sent to Paraska, or where we lived, that we were free to go. So Joseph, her husband, takes us to Prague, which is the capital of Czechoslovakia, and I'm crying all the way. I'm sobbing. I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it. So then he left us in Prague, and we took the plane from Prague to Germany. And when we
are you on this? Just you and your sister on this plane?
Yes, nobody else.
Okay.
But when we landed when we took the bus or train, maybe it was a train, to Prague, there was a Christian man that we knew that was trying to help Mom to get us going.
Right.
Okay. Franzuk was his name.
What's his name?
Franzuk.
Okay.
Franzuk, and he was a Christian man too.
Okay.
But he worked with the government too.
Okay.
And so he was a help to us, and so we stopped to see him, and then from there we flew to Germany. Just Maria and myself. Well, listen, after we got to Germany, they had to revaccinate us, and Maria was okay, but I was not okay. I was running a high temperature, so they couldn't let us go. but they didn't have any communication at that time to let Mama know what was happening.
Right.
We had to stay 2 weeks,
Oh, wow.
and Mama didn't know what was
Where did
happening.
you stay for 2 weeks? What?
It was a place, maybe, I don't know.
Maybe like a hospital.
It was not a hospital, because this lady took us, and we had ice cream, which we never had ice cream in our life, and bananas, we never had bananas. So she took us on a bus to kind of make us feel comfortable.
Okay. Do you know, is this Berlin? Do you know what city this is in? It's just in Eastern Germany.
Germany, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure what.
Okay.
And then after I was okay, we flew to London. That was the first stop. But because of the sudden change that we were able to leave the country, we were the first ones to leave the country, which was a miracle.
And so from Germany, you flew to London. Do you remember? That's got to be the first time you ever been on an airplane.
Right.
Were you?
I was sick on the airplane too. It was not a good trip, okay?
Right.
But when we landed in London, they always had news media interviewing us to what was really happening, because this was national news. Nobody was allowed to.
Did you guys have? Do you remember any paperwork that's like a passport, a visa, any?
Well, that's interesting. I think we just had like birth certificates, because there was no time to get visas and things.
Right, and the media, everyone knows you're coming.
Yes,
so
they
it's
all
a
were
big deal.
alerted. Yes, and then from London we flew to New York, and in New York there was a lady that was able to speak Slovak. And she interviewed us and wanted to know what happened, other than what we already knew. We didn't know all the details of how it all happened, but they were all interested in how we were able to leave the country, because we were the first ones to be able to do that, which was a miracle in itself.